Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're breaking down a critical topic, the 7 layers of cybersecurity. You know, like the 7 layers of a cake, except instead of deliciousness, we're talking about digital safety. And just like you wouldn't want to eat a cake that's been left out in the rain, you don't want to leave your digital life vulnerable to the elements. So today we're going on a journey through Cybersecurity City. Think of it like a real city, but instead of buildings and streets, we have data centers, networks, and of course, people. Lots and lots of people using computers, phones, and all sorts of devices. And just like any city, Cybersecurity City needs layers of protection to keep its citizens, their belongings, and their information safe from harm. We're going to explore each layer in detail, from the outer walls that keep out the barbarians to the inner sanctums where the most precious data is stored. By the end of this journey, you'll have a solid understanding of how to fortify your own digital life and become a responsible citizen of the digital world. All right, let's start with the most obvious layer of Cybersecurity City: the walls, the gates, the guards. In other words, physical security. Think of this as the first line of defense against any real-world intrusion. We're talking locked doors and security cameras at data centers, the places where all those servers that power the internet are kept humming. It's also about controlling who has access to these critical spaces. No wandering eyes or sticky fingers allowed. But it's not just about big server farms. Physical security also applies to your personal devices. Keeping your laptop out of sight in public, using a privacy screen, even being mindful of who's looking over your shoulder, these are all part of Layer 1. Remember, a determined attacker can use physical access to steal devices, install malicious hardware, or even just peek at sensitive information. So, lock it down, folks. Now that we've secured the perimeter, let's talk about network security. If physical security is the city wall, network security is like the city guard, constantly patrolling the digital streets, keeping an eye out for suspicious activity. This layer is all about protecting the pathways that information travels on: your home Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, even mobile networks. Our trusty guards here are firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and secure network protocols. Think of a firewall as a gatekeeper, carefully inspecting incoming and outgoing network traffic, blocking anything that looks suspicious. Intrusion detection systems are like the surveillance cameras of the network, watching for any unusual patterns or activities that might indicate an attack. And finally, secure network protocols are like the encrypted messages the guards use to communicate with each other, making sure no one can eavesdrop on their conversations. Let's face it, even the most vigilant guards can't be everywhere at once. That's where perimeter security comes in, our city's moat and drawbridge, if you will. This layer creates a buffer zone between our precious digital assets and the wild, wild west of the internet. We're talking about technologies like firewalls. Yes, again, they're that important. VPNs and DMZs. Think of a VPN as a secret tunnel that disguises your online activity, making it look like you're coming from somewhere else entirely. A DMZ, or demilitarized zone, is like a separate, heavily guarded courtyard where we can place servers that need to be accessible from the outside world without granting access to our entire network. So, even if an attacker manages to get past our first 2 layers of defense, they'll still have to contend with our moat and drawbridge. Okay, so we've got our city walls, our guards, and even a moat. But what about the individual houses within the city? That's where Endpoint security comes in, like a vigilant neighborhood watch program, keeping an eye on all the individual devices within our network. We're talking about your computers, smartphones, tablets, even those smart toasters that seem to be all the rage these days. Any device that connects to the internet needs its own set of defenses. This layer is all about making sure each device is locked down with strong passwords, up-to-date software, and of course good old-fashioned antivirus protection. It's like making sure every house has sturdy locks, a security system, and maybe even a guard dog. Because even if our outer defenses are impenetrable, a single compromised device can provide an entry point for attackers to wreak havoc. Now let's talk about the buildings themselves, the applications and software that we use every day. Just like a building needs a thorough inspection to make sure it's structurally sound, our applications need regular security testing. This layer, application security, is all about making sure the software we use is free from vulnerabilities that attackers could exploit. Think of it like making sure the doors and windows are properly secured, the plumbing is up to code, and there are no hidden passageways for sneaky intruders. This involves secure coding practices, where developers build software with security in mind from the ground up. It also includes things like application firewalls, which act like security guards, scrutinizing the data that flows in and out of our applications. Because even a tiny crack in the foundation can bring the whole building down, it's crucial to ensure our applications are built on solid security principles. We've secured the city, the houses, even the building materials. But what about the most valuable assets of all? The crown jewels, the family heirlooms. In other words, our data. This is where data security takes center stage. This layer is all about protecting the information itself, whether it's at rest, stored on our devices, or in the cloud, or in transit, traveling across those digital highways we talked about earlier. We're talking encryption, data masking, and secure data storage solutions. Think of encryption as locking your valuables in a safe that only you have the key to open. Data masking is like disguising those valuables, so even if someone manages to get their hands on them, they won't be able to make sense of what they've got. And secure data storage solutions are like choosing the most secure vault in the city to store your treasures. We've built a pretty impressive fortress, haven't we? But even the strongest defenses can be undermined by a single careless mistake. And that's where our final layer comes in, user education. This layer is all about empowering the citizens of Cybersecurity City, that's you and me, to make smart decisions and follow best practices to protect ourselves and our data. We're talking about strong passwords, being wary of phishing scams, and thinking twice before clicking on suspicious links. It's about staying informed about the latest threats and knowing how to report any security incidents. Because at the end of the day, the most important layer of cybersecurity is you. Congratulations! You've made it through our crash course on the 7 layers of cybersecurity. You're now well equipped to navigate the digital world with confidence and keep your data safe from harm. Remember, a strong cybersecurity posture isn't about relying on just one of these layers, but about implementing them all in a holistic and layered approach. Think of it like this. Even if an attacker manages to bypass a few layers of your defenses, the more layers you have in place, the harder it will be for them to succeed. So stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe in our increasingly interconnected world. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe for more cybersecurity tips. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.